Good YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that playoff prediction analysis. I'm going to tell you who I'm going to pick in this series and why. And if you're new to the channel, I'm going to update what I think every single time the games are over until the series is over. Then I'm going to predict in the next series. But this is a preview of the series and what I think, what happened, and why I think this team is going to win or lose the series. I am very interested in this one mainly because you have LeBron and you have Kevin Wayne Durant going against each other in a 4-5 matchup. And this is a series where a lot of people might pick Houston mainly because of no Luka and no Reeves based off what we know. But they don't start the series until April 18th. So it's going to give the Rockets some trouble knowing that Luka might come back. They have had a tough time defending them. So has the entire NBA. And that's going to be the interesting thing about this series. How much time is Luka going to miss? And he's been having hamstring injuries for the last couple seasons. So it ain't really something that's new. And it is something that can reoccur if you rush back or play a certain way when it's not fully healed. So we don't know how long Luka's going to be back. We don't know if he can return in this series. And that's why you kind of have to favor Houston because they do have everything that's needed to attack and beat the Lakers, especially because they don't have Austin Reeves either. We know that LeBron still can get you a triple double. We know that he can still play defense. We know that he can still make plays. We know he can really hook up guys like Aiden and Jake LaRavia and guys like Rui Hachimura for open shots, and that's still going to make them a tough team to beat. But this one should definitely be the Rockets. Like, they should be able to finish this one, and they should be able to get this one done pretty easy. I don't expect it to be a blowout every game because the Rockets have shown that they can make mistakes. They have shown that they can be a little predictable sometimes on the offensive end, and some of their younger guys do have to step up and play real well around Şengün and Kevin Durant. And then Şengün has been really efficient in the last couple games before the end of the season. So I can also see that being something to look out for in this series. I mean, the Lakers going to have to really depend on DeAndre Ayton to man that paint if they're going to really be taken serious in this series. If not, I just feel like Kevin Durant and LeBron James might cross each other out a little bit. You can make an argument that Kevin Durant should play a little bit better because he does have the better supporting cast compared to LeBron. But other than that, the advantage should be all Rockets. I can see guys like um, Reed Shepard having a big series because he can hit the mid range. He can play a little bit of defense. He can make the three. Jabari Smith Jr., he wants the jumper. He wants the threes as well. You look at Amen Thompson. He can attack off the dribble. He can play make a little bit and find guys for good looks and easy opportunities. And he can make things difficult as a defender because they don't really have to focus on other people as much. They can just guard everybody man to man, stay near guys, and then clog up the paint for LeBron and those guys to make things difficult. And I think that's what they're going to try to do. They're just going to try to force, those guys to play a little one-on-one. Don't try to help. Don't try to double team that much because nobody really going to hurt you as much as Luka. Since he's not available, you just got to stay in front of your man, pay attention to your man. And if you do that, you should have a good chance of having good defensive possessions. We know how good of a rebounding team the Rockets really are. So they're going to be able to clean up the glass on their end. They're going to be able to get some extra possessions probably also, and they've been showing that throughout the season. I know they're not going to have Steven Adams. They still not going to have Fred VanVleet, but they still got guys that have hustle and muscle. Dorian Finney-Smith might hit some threes, be a physical defender for them. Tari Eason, we don't really know what's going to happen with him. And then you also got to look at Jayshawn Tate and guys like him and Aaron Holiday because those guys can have small stretches where they can hit shots or find guys. And then you also got to look at Josh Okogie. He can defend, but he also can make shots if you give him wide open ones. And I feel like this team it has just too much offense. They have enough athleticism. They can make shots from the perimeter. You can't really stop Kevin Durant one on one. He's going to get the shots that he wants, and he's showing you that he trusts his teammates as the season has progressed to this point to the playoffs where you think he's going to continue to get the ball up. I know the Lakers did a good job of double teaming them and making things tough, but they also had their best offensive players at that time. They don't really have that luxury this time around for what we know. So I think the Rockets should try to get this one over as quick as they can, try to ease the pain on themselves. And it does make sense for them to think that way. But the Lakers, this is going to be a challenge for them. They know that everything is going to be a little bit tougher because people know what they don't have. People are going to prepare to take things away from them right away. And that's something that they have to do. But DeAndre Ayton is going to have to probably give you double figures in points. Obviously, he thought he was going to do that throughout the entire season while still getting a double digit in rebounds. He might be able to do that because of no Luka helping out on the glass. But he's going to have to find a way to get his own sometimes too, and have to fight a little bit more to get open because they're going to need the extra offense from somebody. And like I said, you also got to look at Jackson Hayes. He's going to have to play with effort and energy. He's going to have to continue to attack the basket and roll hard in the paint. We don't know what Bronny James is going to do. We know he's playing a little bit more. So maybe he can just be a three-point shooter, play some little defense here and there, get to the basket when he can. Luke Kennard, we know they're trying to have him be a shooter and a shot creator. He has shown the ability to do it, but he is a guy that's not the greatest defender. And you know that the Rockets like hunt mismatches and guys like him. So it's going to be tough for him to stay on the floor if he's fouling. But if he's not, he's going to be making mid-ranges, making threes, and making passes. And that's what you're going to need from him. Maxi Kleber, he's going to try to catch and finish. Dalton Knecht might not even play. If he does, you just got to watch out for him in the corners and at the top of the key. And that's the way to neutralize him and stay attached to him. And you look at Marcus Smart, will he be fully healthy? Will he be ready to go? If so, he's going to defend, but is his jump shot going to be there? If his jump shot not going to be there, it's easier to guard him, it's easier to defend him, and he's not as effective. You need him to be a two-way player. If he's not going to be that, then that's just going to be another guy that you're going to dread giving the ball to. And then obviously Thibodeau, he's 21. What can you really get from him? What can you really expect from him, especially against a team like the Rockets? That's going to be something that's going to be questionable. We have to see. And then Jared Vanderbilt, he hasn't really been the guy that they wanted him to be this season, but they're going to still have to play him and use him because he's just going to be a body to give guys rest. And he is a physical guy. He is a big, strong guy, and he can still score a little bit too, especially if you set him up or somebody loses him. But this is going to be silly. LeBron, Ramon, James, the king of the game, is going to have pressure on his head because they're going to look at it and say, you gave us 21, 6, and 7. We might need you to be on triple-double watch every game. We know that he can still get it done. We know he can still do it. But will that be enough against a team that can blow you out within a couple minutes because of their isolation scoring and their ability to hit threes at a really, really good rate? And if that's the case, it's going to be tough and hard for the Lakers to keep up and stay in the game enough to be able to have a chance to win it. And even if they do, will they be able to make enough plays? Will they be able to set the table enough and get guys involved enough to where they can have an advantage to be able to close out the game and win? The Lakers going to have to figure that part out quickly because the longer the series goes, the more chances you have of getting Luka back in the series. The faster the series goes, the more pressure Luka and Reese have on them to come back. And if they don't, obviously that's the end of your season. And then you're looking at it and saying, what can we really do to try to make this team more competitive next year? Because they ain't really got as much money as the Laker fans think. And if they are in that type of situation, it's like, man, what can they really do, to be a championship team as fast as they can to make this worthwhile of having Luka in his prime or close to it, since he's playing at an elite level already for a young guy. And I'm looking at, like, without him and Reeves, this is going to be a quick series. I would be surprised if the Lakers really won a lot of games in this series. I would be shocked if it goes 6. Like, that's how good the Rockets can play with the injuries that the Lakers have sustained and have. So I'm probably going to pick the Rockets in 5. I can see the Lakers getting hot, playing together, moving the ball, cutting, kicking, and making some plays defensively here and there, knocking down some shots. Having LeBron, he's going to feel like I can still get it done. We're going to find some gaps. We're going to find some angles. We're going to find some holes in the defense, and we just got to take advantage of those opportunities. And they might win a game, but if they win more than that, I would be surprised. That's just how I feel about the Rockets against this current Lakers team that's put together. If they was healthy, I would definitely pick the Lakers to win this series. Since they're not healthy, I'm going with the Rockets in this one, and I think they get it in 5. I think they find a way to win a game. I think they find a way to not get swept, but it's only because the Rockets have guys that if they're not making shots, if they're not making plays, they can be easily defended. They can be guardable. But the Lakers have shown that they can have breakdowns defensively. They have shown that they can have miscommunications. They have shown that they have really no way of stopping Durant besides double teaming them. But since these guys have shown, especially the last couple of weeks, that they can make plays and make shots, they still can be tough to beat. And Kevin Durant just has to make adjustments. He just has to watch footage and just be ready for that. Same with Şengün. They're going to try to take the best 2 players out the game. So other guys are going to have to be ready to play and be ready to step up. I think those guys will be able to do it enough in the series to be able to help them win this one pretty comfortably. And like I said, if this was a different Laker team that was healthy a couple weeks ago, I would definitely be picking Lakers over the Rockets. But since that's not the case based off what we know, I'm definitely going to be picking the Rockets over the Lakers, and I feel like it's going to be a quick one because people got to remember in the first round, you don't play too many spaced out games. They always back to back almost. So if they can't rush and get back and still play at an elite level, you might as well rest them and just get ready for the next season because this one might be over quick. And even if they come back, it's risky. So I don't even know if it's even worth risking major injuries to those guys since they're so important to what the Lakers are trying to do in the future with this franchise. So you also have to look at it from that perspective too. If you're a Laker fan, I know y'all want to win a championship. I know y'all want to prove the haters and the doubters wrong. Everybody that's a fan and everybody that loves the team feels that way, but you also don't want to have something crazy or something that doesn't really have to be taken as serious to happen either. You got to be safe with these players, especially when there's been injuries that they have had before, like Luka. So you don't want it to get serious. You don't want it to get worse. And you can always try again next year is how you have to feel and try to build the roster better around Luka again than you did this year and try again. And he's young enough to where you can have some stops and some backward movement and still try to find a way to win a championship in the future with them. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get the analysis when it first come out. Y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today with more playoff predictions.